Alrighty. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great night or day, depending what time it is for you. Happy Monday. Hey, Game Master, welcome to the stream. How are you? Hope everyone is having a great night or day, depending what time it is for you. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Game Master, I hope you had a great weekend. Well, at least for me, it's not the weekend anymore because it's Monday, 2 a.m. on a Monday. So yeah, it's night, 11:06 p.m. Yeah, so it's still technically the weekend for you. But shouldn't you be asleep then? Because don't you have school? Alright, so today we are going to be continuing more Corpse Party Blood Drive. We are doing chapter 1. I know it's confusing that I said we're continuing Blood Drive and we're starting on chapter 1, but that's because the game started on chapter 0. Sort of like an introduction chapter to the game. So yeah. New game, yes. We finished Book of Shadows yesterday. So I did say that if I did finish Book of Shadows, excuse me, if I finish Book of Shadows before October ends, then I'm gonna start Blood Drive after. So we finished Blood Drive yesterday. Not Blood Drive. We finished Book of Shadows yesterday when we were only 30 minutes into the stream. So after that, I ended stream for a little bit so I can, put Blood Drive into OBS, and then restarted the stream, and we continue from there. Yeah. Rubber hurts because I'm still trying to catch up. I'm sorry. It's okay. It is okay. But wait, Game Master, you don't have school tomorrow? Well, technically today, but tomorrow for you, I guess. Alright. So we're gonna start chapter 1. Blood Drive, chapter 1. Returning. So Blood Drive, again, does have like some visual novel dialogue scenes, but the actual gameplay is RPG style with 3D style graphics. But this game is still old. This game has been out for a while because it first came out on the PS Vita. It just recently came out on PC. So yeah. Alright. A day had passed since the events of Shimorenjaku South Apartments. Man, I always have trouble pronouncing that name. This was to be a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been a part of it from the start, except that fate seemed to have other plans for him. Miss Kwan, I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. So, if you guys remember, the teacher, or I should say, their former teacher, Miss Yui, who was in the first Corpse Party game and and Book of Shadows, was their homeroom TA, but since she died in Heavenly Host, no one outside, no one in the real world, remembers or knows who Miss Yui is, and now their teacher is Miss Kuon here. She replaced Miss Yui. and we got introduced to her yesterday when we were playing chapter 0. But yeah. So in case you guys don't know, whoever dies in the world of Heavenly Host, you know, when you're like in the cursed school, and then you return back to the real world, no one will remember who, or I mean, I should say, the people who died in Heavenly Host will, like, their existence will be wiped out from history. Like, no one will know who they are, no one will remember who they are, or whatever. Hence why Miss Kuon is their teacher now and not Miss Yui, because Miss Yui died. So yeah. Our links blocked because I have a clip of that jump scare, because realized that you already made a clip of it, but I don't have the clip. I don't have a clip of that jump scare. So, if you want to post that clip in the chat, feel free to. And if you haven't already, post that clip in my Discord in the C Memories clip channel. Alright, let's continue. No, you sit back down. Satoshi, your score on the algebra quiz yesterday was rather embarrassing, don't you think? Like an owner training a puppy, Kuon gave him a strong glare and held up her index finger in reprimand. Excuse me. Don't know if it matters, but here. Wait, what did you name it? Don't know if it matters, but here, a cheap jump scare and laughs. Alright, thanks for the clip. I gotta say, I also gotta say, Miss Kuon's outfit looks like something like a horse, a jockey would wear. You know, those people that ride horses for those horse races. That's what her outfit looks like anyway, to me. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture, and you're going to listen. And then, the next quiz will be a snap to pass. Ooh, a personal lecture, eh? Oh my. Okay, did it? Awesome. I just got the notification. Awesome. Thank you, Game Master. But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside your field of expertise? Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. She seemed a little taken aback by the remark, puffing up her cheeks like a chipmunk in protest. But Miss Kuon. It's darling how alike she and Miss Yui are. I'm sorry. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave his seat in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught, lifted up, and forcibly back down. Oh shit, she's strong. Miss Kuon was smiling. She was actually enjoying this. Who or what am I dealing with here? Miss Kuon was only the slightest bit taller than Mochida. This didn't make her taller than the average, but her arms were small and frail. There seems to be no way she could possibly have lifted someone of his build. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him, and he made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now, let's begin, shall we? Have stuff to do real quick? Alright, take your time. Yes, ma'am. He had no other option. Apparently he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour, come hell or high water. Oh shit. Meanwhile, at a local At a local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the information who led my friends to me the previous night. Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt? I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with my other hand. Ever since the previous night, I had this constant, unbearable urge to pee. You still haven't peed? What the fuck? Oh, it's a curse now. What the hell is wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and I hyperventilated, but can that affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's fit to burst. So, where shall we begin? Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking me up and down, seemingly judging my every mannerism, my every movement. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands, as if guarding it from her gaze. Excuse me. Thank you very much for your help yesterday. Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Kisaragi Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others. Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about this strange new addition to our entourage. Ayumi, Kishinuma, you two are survivors from Heavenly Host Elementary, are you not? We pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone else, which we always assumed would be an easy promise to keep. But now, casually and out of the blue, here we are. Why? How do you know about that? Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their auras changes to something otherworldly, something I can see. Both Kishinuma and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura, I guess. Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly. You said you were an intelligence agent, was it? For the supernatural? And you're a friend of Naho's? That's correct. I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact. The true source of the deaths and subsequent, erasers? Erasers, right? I guess erasers. That had turned our lives into a living nightmare was a Sachiko Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I've been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from class 29, and as a result, half of those friends were now gone. I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on behalf of one Mr. Kibiki, no?
はい。幸せの幸子さんの情報が掲載されてから失踪されたことに。
I am. And I know she hasn't been seen since posting information on Sachiko ever after.
私はね、心霊スポットや霊能関係の情報を集めて、それを欲しがる人に有償で提供してきた。
Well, my business is of a similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locales, and sell that data to my clients for a fair profit.
報酬はお金、もしくは私の興味をそそる霊具の類。相手によってふっかけ方も変えるけれど。
Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest. It all depends on whom I'm dealing with.
ギブアンドテイクよね。向こうは情報が欲しい。私はお金と霊具が欲しい。
It's entirely give and take. They want my information, and I want their cash or their artifacts. Physically, Aiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, the jury was still out. Her words were calculated and emotionless, her true intentions a mystery.
だから私は情報屋をやっているの。なほちゃんもいいお客さんだったわ。あの子が最後に買ったのが天神小学校の情報。
One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent. And Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however.
なほちゃん、これでキビキ先生の小説が何とか賞を取れるってすごくはしゃいでた。
At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kibiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her.
ねえ、教えてくれる？あなたたちの閉じ込められたあの異空間になほちゃんはいた？
Say, could you tell me... Was Naho there, in the other world you found yourself trapped in?
なほさんはキビキ先生と一緒に亡くなっていました。
Naho died together with Mr. Kibiki. I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she'd done, the memory of Naho's passing was still painful for me. She'd become one of Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk. In the end, I was the one who finished her off.
そう、やっぱりね。
I see. I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unaffected by this revelation. Her tone remained even, and her expression cold and distant. Honestly, I had about enough of her by this point. She was so devoid of empathy. It was almost offensive. I was genuinely starting to get pissed off.
平気なんですか？
And you're okay with that?
残念だと思うわ。でも予想がついていたからわざわざ取り乱す必要もないでしょ。
I do feel sorry for her, don't get me wrong, but I had a strong feeling things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting that for which I was fully prepared. Kishinuma continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold, emotionless eyes. He was oddly quiet, though his anger was palpable. I clenched my fists.
じゃあこの子はおまじないを一緒に行ったと思うんだけど、あっちにはいたかしら。
What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her there as well? Ah, Sayaka. Aiko showed us a photo of a girl named Sayaka Oe. I think that's how you pronounce her last name.
いえ、会ってないからわかりません。
No, I can't say if I've ever met her.
そう。
I see. Aiko's expression was so unfaltering. You could carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something.
なほさんのことお客さんだなんてそんなの って言わないと思います。
If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if that hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This icy bitch may have had only one expression, but I sure didn't.
あら、あなたは客って言葉に
Ooh,
対して
someone's
随
upset.
分と偏見を持っているのね。取引を行う以上、私はそこに最大の誠意とクオリティを提供する。
Oh my, do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of the utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. Ooh my, satisfaction, eh?
つまりそれがパートナーとしての信用で、フレンドシップにも負けないものだと思っているけれど。
It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner. And that's not always something you can always, or you can, wait. And that's not always something you can say about friendship now, is it?
そんなこと。
That's. I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinuma broke his silence.
あんたよ、昨日篠崎を助けてくれたことは感謝するけどよ、金やなんかの見返りのためにそんなろくでもない情報を拡散させるなんて旗迷惑だと思わねえのか。
Hey, I do want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday. Really. But spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How the hell can you sleep at night?
情報は情報よ。それ自体に罪はないわ。道具と同じ。それをどう使うかは使い手の問題でしょ。
Information is just that. Information. It's harmless on its own. There's no good or bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how it's used.
その気になれば、その辺にあるコップでも人は殺せてしまうのよ。
Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands after all. Why, that cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as any knife.
なもん詭弁じゃねえかよ。
The hell it could? That's bullshit and you know it.
あなたもそう思うの、あゆみちゃん。
Ayumi, do you agree?
愛子さん、ごめんなさい。私はあなたの考え方嫌いです。無責任だと思います。
Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her.
やれやれ、ひどい嫌われよね。慣れてるけど悲しいわ。
Well now, it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst and was back to her usual icy self.
天神賞は俺らがぶっ壊してきたからいいけどよ。
It doesn't matter now anyway. We destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table.
じゃあ本題に入りましょうか。私があなたたちに近づいた理由、伝えたいことについて。
Let's get down to business then. There's a reason I sought you out. Something I wanted to discuss with you. Aiko produced a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of a questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that look like tree branches. Excuse me.
黒魔術の文字対応表。篠崎家の家系図。
Black magic spell charts. And is that the Shinozaki family tree?
少しショッキングなことを伝えるわね。
You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, and unblinking.
さっき岸沼くんが言ったことだけれど間違いよ。
What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect.
あ
Huh?
何がだよ。
What do you mean?
天神小学校は壊れてなどいない。今もまだ存在し続けているのよ。
Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. Dome.
これを見て。
Take a look at this. Who the fuck? Oh, is that the girl with the missing eye? Does she have an axe in her hand? The hell? Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location it depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one of those all too familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand.
天神小学校。
Dun dun dun. We've seen this girl before, though. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it looks like the same girl from the first game. It's Heavenly Host.
なんだよ。これ。
Where did this come from?
やっぱりこれは私が連射したものよ。力が足りなくて少し不鮮明ではあるけれど今現在のあの空間天神小学校の様子。
We have confirmation then. It's a thoughtograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clear image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host.
一体どういうことなんですか？
I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't even describe what was going through my head at that moment. I felt like I was going to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story.
順を追って説明するわね。まず昨日の例の赤い箱だけれど開けるとこのレーグが出てきたの。
Excuse me. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I found on Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently two stones resembling magatama, kama-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly honed stones, as well as a lining along the edge consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper.
残念ながら箱の中でほとんど割れていたけれどこの一組は無事だったわ。
Unfortunately, most of the box's contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, was still fully intact. Oh, that's the thing that's on the logo of Blood Drive. They called it stones, right? Or some sort of stone, I don't know. They look almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols. Puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Aiko now held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive that point home.
レーグというのはね、簡単に言えば死者の思いが込められたもののことで
Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead.
物に閉じ込められた霊、またはその生前の記憶がボツネに永遠と泣き言を語りかけてくる愉快なものよ。
Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at the very least be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing.
私はこう見えて無類の霊具コレクターでもあるの。
I may not quite look the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived it to be.
この子の意志を読もうとするとね、呪わしい声と一緒におさげの少女や廃校の風景が見えてきたの。
I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building.
気になったからこのカメラに。
My curiosity having been piqued, I took out this camera. At this, she produced an old instant camera and placed it on the table in front of us.
私の面を映してみたの。それがその写真。
And tried to take a photo of the image in my mind. The result is that shot.
私がこの霊具を使ってその時の今現在を念写したものよ。過去や未来の時間を超えた念写は私にはできないから。
This particular spirit item only allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and the future alike are beyond its reach. I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying what it depicted. No. I was actually shaking.
篠崎幸子を失ったあの学校は私たちが逆落ちで脱出した際に崩壊したはず。
Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped.
でも寸前のところでとどまったってところかしら。私に語りかけてくる声の主がまだいるのかもね。
I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even, maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my
例
hand.
えば写真の女の子とか誰かしらね、この子。
It could even be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. I mean, she does look like the girl, one of those 3 kids that got kidnapped and murdered by the principal, I believe, right? Because there were 3 kids along with Sachiko, which makes 4, I guess. But the 3, like, one was a girl that had her eye taken out. One had his tongue taken out. I don't know if the girl with the eye taken out also had her tongue taken out. I think she did too. And then there was another girl that had half her head like just gone. So maybe it's the girl. The girl in that picture that we just saw also had her eye like missing, or it looked like it had a hole in her eye, but. And it's the same eye too, I believe, as the one from the first Corpse Party game. So, it could be her, I don't know. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body and I shuddered, as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization.
地獄みたいな場所がまだ存在してるってのかよ。
God damn. You really think that hellhole is still around? Kishinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to enrage him a lot more than it had been.
その天神小学校。いえ、学校の形をしたあの異空間だけれど、ナホちゃんに紹介した手前、私も気になって調べていたの。
Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary, fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho.
あの異空間の正体はね、涅槃という死後の世界に近い磁場なのよ。
I began to research it independently and learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, another world or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death.
普通はこの世とは別の次元に存在するものなのだけれど、
Though ordinarily one tends to think of their beginning or there being only this world and the next. A new nirvana?
え
Ooh, excuse me.
ヨシエについては知っているわよね。
That's correct. You know about Yoshi Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah.
篠崎の家、ヨシエの診療所に黒の本と呼ばれる魔導書、ブック・オブ・シャドウズがあったことに。
And of her clinic, the Shinozaki estate wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located. Yeah. Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was sit there and hear her out. What the fuck is going on now? It was like a muffled scream or a moan of agony. The sound you make when you want to make a sound but are barely able to. Is that Sachiko right there? On the right? I'm guessing this is her mother, right? Who's Seiji? That one was a little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table light to fall over and roll along the ground. Please, dear, come now. You need to stay calm. This was Yoshi Shinozaki's clinic, and Yoshi herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both her hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant. To prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue, he had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant, sidelong glances. Okay, I know I don't have my headphones on, but her voice sounded like a man's voice when she was saying all of that. I don't know. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworlds and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing water of the Tachibana on the Odo no Ahagihara shores in the land of Tsukushi, yeah, okay. Is he like having like, is he possessed or something, or is he having a seizure? Seiji, still collapsed on the floor, was clearly suffering. His body was bent into a most unnatural shape, and he was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered here, to wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Dude, I feel like... Fuck. How is she that strong to hold down her husband? God damn. Sachiko's father screamed through his gag, foam beginning to froth out from its edges. He was going into cyanosis? What the fuck? Okay, ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event. from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting? Flitting about freely and joyously. What the fuck is going on? Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Come into this world, multitudinous? Yeah, multitudinous, right? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Okami of Haraido. Dear, stay with me. Dear. Ah! Miyoya no Mitama, I beg of you, please do not take him. Her great-grandmother, Seira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teeth women laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Daddy! Daddy! Oh god. His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life had left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head and all movement ceased. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. He gone. Yoshi, too, was stricken with grief and despair. Oh my god. I don't like this black screen that's going on right now. This is what it means to be a Shinozaki, to be part of the cursed bloodline. All men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshi could circumvent that fate. Well, Yoshiki needs to be careful then. Cause I know Yoshiki has feelings for Ayumi. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The grimoire, the Book of Shadows. Oh my god. To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply. She would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost to her own immortal soul. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then, what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolish run-ins with black magic resurfaced. Man, Ayumi just has a lot of wounds on her, doesn't she? The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshi's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshi intended. By which, of course, I mean I instantly knew that she was going. Wait. I instantly knew what she was going to say.
ヨシエの術で本の中から呼び覚まされた何か、それが涅槃。
From the book, she created a new nirvana.
未来永劫、死者と共にいられる場所、死後の世界を切り取った空間がこの世に生まれてしまったの。
There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born unto the world of the living.
ヨシエはもう
Well
半
then.
分正気を失っていたのね。一人娘の幸子を現世に残して、自分は夫の魂と共に生涯をそこで添い遂げようとした。
Yoshi must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her only child, Sachiko, in the real world, while living with her husband's soul in the new nirvana,
ランドオブコープス。
the land of corpses.
ところが、涅槃には意志があり、ヨシエの手でコントロールできるものではなかったの。
However, this nirvana had no mind of its own. Yoshi couldn't possibly control it, Shinozaki or no. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshi, I experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic.
黒魔術には障害反応がある。夫の魂はバラバラに飛散し、ヨシエの命も消えかけた。
Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshi's life, too, was on the verge of being snuffed out.
自分の愚かな行為を悔やみながら呼吸を止めようとしたその時、
She knew she made a mistake. She deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath,
底なしに霊能力が強い一人娘幸子が涅槃を丸ごと体の中に飲み込んだの。
her soul daughter, Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of this new nirvana into her body.
幸子が
Sachiko. Okay. The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing about as the weight of an entire dimension crushed her from the inside. This action had saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshi rushed to her daughter's side in tears.
幸子、幸ちゃん、あなた。
Sachiko. Sachi. Why?
お母さん知らないで、お母さん。
Mommy. Don't die, Mommy. Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. The little girl buried her face into Yoshi's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshi grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down in her face uncontrollably. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura.
ごめんね、さっちゃん。ごめんね。お母さん間違ってた。
I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong.
お母さんにはあなたがいるわ。もうあなたを置いていこうだなんて思わないから。
Yoshi's voice sounds sort of familiar, too. Mommy has you. So from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. You okay?
あなたも知っての通り、幸子も篠崎家当主長系の血を引くサラブレッド。
Whew. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbred.
ヨシエを超えるほどの霊能力を持っていたのね。
This means her power is greater than Yoshi's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big, noisy sip of her coffee mug.
ほとんど最強の霊能者だったんじゃないかしら。まだほんの小さな子供だったけど。
At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in all the world, little girl or no.
その幸子が死んでしまって。
Yet despite that, she wound up dying.
保健医吉江の転落事故と同時に幸子が行方不明になった。50年前のあの時期に。
That's right. The same day Yoshi fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now.
あれは
Damn.
校長による殺人事件でした。
They were both killed by the principal,
やはりそうなのね。
just as I suspected.
校長が余計なことをしでかしたおかげで幸子の中に吸い込まれて封印されていた涅槃が復活し、あの異空間天神小学校が生まれてしまったのに。
The principal's heinous actions are to blame, then, for resurrecting the new Nirvana within Sachiko, and creating the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its form.
とはいえ復活した涅槃も修行として蘇った幸子の力で再び抑制されて、やっぱりその支配下に置かれていたようだけれど。
Yet, even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all powerful, seemingly continuing to exert complete control over it.
幸子がいろんな力を使えたのも、その涅槃の影響だったのかしら。
I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This was all starting to make a sick sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place and painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it.
現在はあなたたちが脱出の際に幸子を取り除いてしまったから、涅槃も再び暴走状態になっているのよ。
When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained and is going berserk once more.
やってしまえばよかったのに。あんな危険な場所。
Should have just disappeared. This world would be better off without it. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry. Angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal, myself included.
さて、ここで少し突飛な話をするわよ。ついてきてね。
Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you.
はい。
Okay.
死んだ友達にまた会いたい？
Would you like to see your dead friends again? Oh shit. That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up
涅
immediately.
槃で死んだ霊は成仏できずに囚われ続けるというわ。お友達の魂だってまだあそこにいるかもしれない。
Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are said to roam the grounds, trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friends' souls may still exist on that plane.
実は黒の
Excuse
ブ
me.
ック・オブ・シャドウズにはいろんな魔術が書かれているの。
There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows.
教えの使った涅槃を生み出す術の他にも反言の術というものもある。
Aside from the spell Yoshi used to create the new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. Nagashima and I knew about that one all too well.
命を
How did that happen?
経験な宗教家に言わせれば神の星の気に響く背徳の行為だと言われそうだけれどね。
Forcefully returning alive to this plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, as it's considered an affront to the will of God by virtually all religious organizations. Huh? Kishinuma seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspect the look on my face may have had something to do with that. I performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once, the guilt returned. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had this sinking suspicion it was because she somehow knew that I was thinking, or knew what I was thinking, though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she would.
そんなものはクソくらいよね。冒涜も破壊も何でも来いよ。
Still, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can be blasphemous. You can break every commandment. Bring it on.
死んだ友達を生き返らせたいんでしょ。
You do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no?
だったらあの本を探し出し、天神小学校でもう一度あの術を行えば成功する可能性は飛躍的に上がるんじゃ
But
ない
it failed the
かしら。
first time, so why will we do it again? All you have to do is find that book and cast that spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. Your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Oh, so Ayumi performed that spell in the Sachiko estate, not really in the school itself. Is what I'm getting here. I see. Excuse me.
おいあんた、何無責任なこと言ってやがんだ。またやばいことになったらどうする。
Hold on. Do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. I was too focused on what Aiko had just said.
知っているんですね。私と中島さんの教えの絵での失敗を。
You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshi's place. Me and Nakashima. Aiko tilted her head at me, the same wry smile creeping across her face. She'd gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expressive in a mere instant.
あの時のことだ。夢幻だったと思っています。
I don't think we really believe what was happening to us. It was like a dream.
見えないものを見て、ありえない体験をして、私はおかしくなっていたって。
Excuse me. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane.
いけないこと。こんなこと。もう忘れたいの。
It shouldn't have been possible. We shouldn't have done it. I want to put all of this behind me.
でも現実だった。
But it was real. Aiko pointed to the scar on my neck, then went one step further and lightly brushed it with her hand. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically choking on thin air.
人が本来触れること
Excuse me.
世の常識の裏側にあなたは手を突っ込んだのよ。
See? You came in contact with something ordinary people could never even
今
imagine.
更逃げられると思う。
Do you really think you can just turn tail and run from that now? I looked down again, trying my best to avoid Aiko's gaze.
私にそんなことが。
Do you really think I can do it? When had I started crying? I raised my head again, intent upon looking deep into Aiko's eyes as she answered my question, but she looked so blurry through my tears. I could tell, though, she was smiling at me. It was the same expression, her new standard.
存在こそ。で、
Hmm? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Can you be more specific?
みんな
Can I really?
うんうん何あなたの口からちゃんと聞きたい
This
の
girl's
どう
evil. I don't know. I don't really trust Aiko here. Yes, yes. What is it? I want to hear you say it. What exactly is it that you wish to accomplish?
行け帰ら
Can I bring everybody back?
よく言えました
Nicely done. Aiko patted my head, as one might a dog's after a successfully performed trick.
黒の本が見
She's a dick.
魔女の英知を起こす奇跡それが運命をねじ曲げる力
What the Grimoire produces are miracles spawned from the wisdom of the witches, and these miracles hold the power to bend
た
fate.
とえそれが確定した運
I
命
feel like she's lying. I feel like she's feeding us to the nirvana this place is called now. I don't know. I feel like she's just feeding souls to the school so they can just die. I don't know, but we'll see. Even if that fate is set in stone, so to
あ
speak.
なたは強力な霊能者の家系篠崎家の末裔お母さんがいない今これはあなたにしかできないことかもしれない
You are a descendant of the House of Shinozaki, a family of immensely powerful practitioners of magic. And since Hinoue is no longer with us, this is something only you can do. My confidence was being bolstered by the minute, though in retrospect, that was likely Aiko's aim. Nonetheless, if there were still something I could do for my friends,
だけど肝心のブックオブシャドウズがどこに行ったのかもわからないしそれに
excuse me, but wait, I don't even know where the Book of Shadows is anymore. Plus,
幸子を失った天
excuse me.
幸せの幸子さんのおまじないではもう行けない
You're no longer able to travel the heavenly host by way of the Sechiko in the ever after ritual. Now that Sechiko is gone, correct?
そうだと思いますこの学校で神ゆきちゃんという女の子に聞きました
Yeah, that's right. That's what Yuki said anyway. Or Yuki Kano, a girl from the school. Who's Yuki? Have we met Yuki before? I feel like we have, maybe. The name does sound pretty familiar. Like I feel like we've heard her name before in Book of Shadows. Aigo once again placed the bluish-white Magatama stones from the box in either hand, this time fitting them together, though not quite the way they were supposed to interlock.
そこでこれよ
That's where these come in.
それは
What are they?
ものすごい霊力を持ってるさすが篠崎の霊具ね声が教えてくれたわ
They house an exceptional amount of spiritual energy, as one would expect, given that they're spirit items from the Shinozaki line. The voice I heard told me about
こ
them.
れは幸せの石
They're called Ever After Stones.
幸せの石
Ever After Stones. I leaned forward despite myself. The name sent a shiver down my spine, but now that I'd heard it, I had to know more.
この石は2つで1つなのこれをパズルのようにくっつけて涅槃よ死人を迎えよと唱えれば触れているものみんながいつでも天神小学校へ飛べるの
These two are one. Fit them together like puzzle pieces and chant Nirvana I summon the dead. And all who are in direct or indirect contact with them will be spirited away. We both flinched at her chant, but Aiko just smiled. She must have in intention. Wait, what the fuck? Wow, why can't I read that? She must have intentionally oriented the stones the wrong way so the charm wouldn't activate. It's the same when you return. She tossed the stones she'd been holding in her hand, or in her right hand, into her left hand, into her left, where it clacked together with each other, or with the other. Where it clacked together with the other. My God.
不思議でしょ。この子が教えてくれたんだよ。この方法。
Strange, isn't it? This girl taught me the technique herself. Aiko gazed longingly at the stones. She was clearly utterly enamored by them. It seemed as if they were the key factors in unleashing her newfound emotional expressiveness. But my focus was elsewhere. Without a doubt, the items Aiko now held in her left hand were extraordinarily dangerous, possibly the most dangerous, horrific objects in the entire world. However, while Aiko was ogling them with her left hand, her right was feeling around for something in her breast pocket. Oh my. She slowly removed it, producing an old black and white photograph. Can't speak, can't read. My goodness. When had she taken that? It was the same photograph I'd seen at Makina Shinozaki's house the previous night. Oh, is it the one with the forest and the news? Oh, never mind. I thought she was talking about the picture on the fridge, but I forgot there was another picture, which was this one. It depicted a young Yoshi alongside her mother and Makina.
10代だった篠崎義恵はおばの牧野のことを慕ってよく家に遊びに行っていたそうよ。
When Yoshi was in her teens, she adored her aunt Makina and would often go over to her place for a
世
visit.
界的に有名な霊能師の家系である篠崎家。ここならと。
The Shinozaki family, world famous for their spiritual abilities, and this was when it all
ヤ
started.
ゴーラ教会に生き残り、ヤゴーラの沖縄が危険だからとマルトバから盗み出してきたブック・オブ・シャドウズを預けに来たんだけど。
The surviving elder of the Yagora society felt it was too dangerous to leave these items with the Martubas. So he came here intending to steal the Book of Shadows away from
それ
them.
が揃うと危ないからと石は牧野が本は義恵が預かって保管することに決めたそうよ。
But he felt it would be even more dangerous for the book and stones to remain together. So while he gave the book to Yoshi for safekeeping, he gave the stones to Makina. Yagora Society? Martubas? I never heard these terms before at all. And then there was that damn Book of Shadows again. Why did that have to keep coming up?
あなたたちはあの学校から篠崎幸子を取り除いた。それによって大きな可能性が広がったわ。
You removed Sachiko Shinozaki from that school, and in doing so, you created the perfect storm of opportunity.
これまでのような一方通行ではなく現世に戻ってくることができる。この世のものではない異空間心霊スポットが生まれているの。
Interesting. Two-way travel to and from that dimension is not possible. It's no longer a one-way road. A new spiritual hotspot, something not of this world, has been born. She thrust the ever-after stones toward me triumphantly and continued to make her pitch, growing more excited by the second. I was legitimately speechless. What could I say?
わかるかしら。まさにあの場所は宝の山。
She's too excited about this. Don't you see? That place is a gold mine.
今で眉唾、嘘800と笑われていた霊魂の世界への扉が開いたの。世界中のオカルト研究が一気に加速するわ。
People can no longer claim the world of spirits is fake, or that spiritual investigators like myself are lying. It's all different now. Occult research can be legitimized.
私はね、商売としてあの空間へ人を連れて行くツアーコンダクターをやろうと思うの。
I'm even considering bringing people to that cursed dimension on tour if I can, to make a little extra cash. Oh, you're... No, man, you're evil for doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's messed up, man. To send people, like, to... I don't know, to... You know, send people there with you to just, you know, show the place, you know, for money, risking that they could die. That's just messed up. Kishinome and I both reacted to this preposterous suggestion with a start. She couldn't possibly be serious, could she?
ナコちゃんのブログからは片白のデータは削除したし、あの手段ではもう飛べない。不幸君は私しか持っていない。
I've deleted the proxy doll data from Naho's blog, so no one will be able to jump that way anymore. Only I possess the means to enter that place now. What could she possibly have been thinking? I wanted to stop her at once. I wanted to take those stones and break them, right there, on the spot, before anyone else got hurt. But I...
私はね、ツアーを運営するにあたって安全を確保したいの。
When I begin conducting these tours, however, I want to make customer safety my top priority.
あゆみちゃんはお友達の霊を探したいでしょ。だったらあの空間の再調査は共通の目的にならないかしら。
And you seek your friend's spirits, do you not? Well, re-investigating that dimension could help you reach that goal. Our destinations are the same, Ayumi. Aiko leaned in as she spoke, her breath scented with the sugary sweetness of the extravagant dessert we'd been eating tickled my nose.
ね、
Oh my.
私たち
How lewd.
もう一度天神小学校に行ってくれない？
So what do you say? Let's go back to Heavenly Host Elementary together. One more time. Shall we? Well, they already went like, what, 3 times already, right? Well, 2 times actually, right? I'm pretty sure in Book of Shadows they went there before. Right? Because I know in the first game they didn't know what would happen when they did the ritual in the first Corpse Party game, but in the beginning of Book of Shadows, Satoshi and Naomi both like had memories, or like they knew like what would happen when they did the ritual, cause they know what was gonna happen. So I feel like, is this their 3rd time going back, or is it their 2nd time going back? I'm not sure. I don't know.
本来は片白を引きちぎる方法でツアーをやろうと思っていたんだけど、こんな便利なアイテムが見つかっちゃったんだもの。これはもう運命よ。私やるわ。商売にする。
I really wanted to conduct tours using the paper dolls, but missed my chance. Now though, I have these lovely stones. I feel this must be fate. And I can make a business of it. And she is messed up in the head. Aiko seemed like she was on top of the world, but that just made me all the more disgusted with her. So how about it? On the other hand, she was offering me a chance to save our lost friends, and however remote that chance may have been, it stacked the odds frustratingly in her favor. I still couldn't just say yes, but I also couldn't say no. Honestly, I resented Aiko for putting me in this position. I glared at her for a moment before I said anything.
すぐに答えを出せるわけがないでしょ。考えさせてください。
I can't answer that right now. Give me some time to think it over. I'd almost forgotten Kishinuma was there. Sudden waves of guilt washed over me. He had an absolutely incredulous? Incredulous? Is that how you say it? Look on his face. I couldn't bear to see it, so I looked away.
ブックオブシャドウズだってどこにあるかわからないし、そもそもその石だって本当にそんな力があるかもわからないじゃないですか。
We don't know where the Book of Shadows is anyway. Plus, how do we know those stones can actually do what you say they can?
実際に試したわけじゃないのでしょ。
There's no way you could have already tried it, right? Aiko smiled. She oriented the two stones so they'd form a perfect yin-yang symbol, then slotted them together once again. Immediately, the stones began glowing with a bluish-white hue, and a stream of energy started to form around her.
マジかよ。
Gotta be kidding me. Aiko continued smiling and looked directly into my eyes.
いいわ、ゆっくり考えて。この石はもちろんまだ試していないからどれだけ危険かわからないしね。
No need to decide now. Think it over. Yes, it's true. The full range of these stones' power has yet to be tested. So their true danger is as of yet undetermined. She slowly separated the two stones as she said this, and the energy surrounding her dissipated.
篠崎家の血筋、篠崎マキナの家で発見されたんだもの。きっと信憑性も霊言も新たかな霊具に違いないわ。
But they're from the home of Makina Shinozaki, a prominent branch on the Shinozaki tree. Their authenticity and the credibility of my intelligence is hard to dispute.
すげえな。ちょっと見せてくれよ。
Hell of a thing. Can I see them? Kishinuma didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed the Ever After stones from Aiko's hands and began examining them carefully.
あの箱の中にこんなものが入ってたとはな。
Hard to believe that this is what was in that box.
あんたさ、まさかこの石を独り占めしようなんて考えてねえよな。
You weren't planning on keeping these stones all to yourself, were you? Aiko seemed taken aback by the question. Way to go, Kishinuma. You managed to catch her off guard.
これを見つけられたのは半分は篠崎が体張ったおかげなんだろ。
Half the credit for finding them is due to Shinozaki risking her skin after all. Aiko seemed to ponder these words for a moment.
じゃあ、お互い勝手に行けないように一つずつ持っていましょうか。
Well, then let's make sure neither of us can go by ourselves. We'll each keep one of the two stones. That seems fair, I guess.
わかりました。ちょうだい、岸沼君。
Alright, give me one, Kishinuma. Sure thing. Kishinuma plopped one of the stones in my hand, then slipped the other back into the drawstring pouch Aiko had brought them in and closed it up. Back, sorry it took a while. It's all good. Game Master, welcome back. Hope everything went well with what you had to do.
うん。
There. He then casually handed the pouch back to its rightful owner.
その気になったら連絡をちょうだい。そうね。サービスとしてブックオブシャドウズの捜索は私も手伝ってあげるわ。無料ね。
Excuse me. What I miss? Nothing really. We're just here in this cafe talking to this info broker, I guess. And she just told us that we have found there's a way to actually go back to the school, like go to the school and come back. Like there's actually a two-way ride, I guess. Round trip, I guess. A round trip to the school and back to the real world. And she also told us that we can save our friends that have died in the school. So, some interesting info that she has told us this far. Feel free to give me a call anytime you like. And don't worry, I'll even help you find the Book of Shadows, free of charge. Aiko flashed us with the biggest, most gregarious smile I think I'd ever seen.
あの本さえ見つかれば一緒に
Just like the
してくれるぞ
Thanos snap,
あゆみちゃん
I guess, basically. And when do we find it? Oh, yeah. And when we do find it, you will go with me, won't you, Ayumi? I closed my eyes and gave something like a half-hearted half nod. Lowering my head without raising it again. It was interpreted as a yes, but I'm not sure I meant it that way.
じゃあここは私が出しておくわね
Good. That being the case, it's on me today. Aiko got up and grabbed the check.
いえ私も出します
No, I'll pay for mine. I took out my wallet. I had no desire to owe this person anything. Aiko just smiled.
それじゃ割り勘ってことで
Dutch it is then.
そうそうこれは私からのプレゼント
Oh yes, I almost forgot. I'd like you to have this. Aiko handed her autograph to me.
嫌だわそんなに構えないでこれは無料で差し上げるわだから安心して
Now, it's not going to bite you, and I'm not asking any money for it, so please, just take it with my blessing.
最低だよ
Now we get to see more of the 3D graphics. Aren't they cute? I despise her.
ああ
Me too.
鈴本さんや篠原さん森重君ゆい先生みんなのことが終わったらこの石はすぐに壊すから
Suzumoto, Shinohara, Morishige, and Miss Yui. As soon as I'm done with those four, I'm breaking the stone.
ああその意見には俺も同感だ両方ともぶっ壊す
Reminds me of the new Pokemon game graphics. Yeah, it kind of actually reminds me of it actually reminds me of Pokemon X and Y. Not really like, well, actually it does kind of remind me of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee graphics as well. Yeah, I would say yeah, it looks like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee graphics. Similar, at least. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Better make sure to break the other one though, too, while you're at it. As if he'd been waiting for this cue, Kishinuma pulled the other stone from his pocket. What? He pulled a sleight of hand, didn't he?
石沼君
Kishinuma?
あの学校のヤバさも知らねえで浮かれてやがったなこっそり
I'm pretty sure she knows by now that they both have they have both of the stones. She doesn't know what it's like in that school. I mean, she was actually getting excited about going there, so I helped myself when she wasn't looking.
石沼君
To the Pokemon theme, corpse party, gotta save them all. Corpse party. That's funny. Kishinuma, that's amazing. You're terrible. What? How are you gonna compliment him and then say he's terrible? The hell?
緊急事態によりやむなしだけどよしのばこう言っちゃうんだ生き返らせるとかさ
Hey, serious business calls for serious action. Though, Shinozaki, I don't know how to say this exactly, but about the whole resurrection thing. The double whammy, a compliment, and an insult, right?
鈴本たちのことはもう考えない方がいいんじゃないか。
The whole situation with Suzumoto and the others should probably just be left alone, don't you think?
無茶ばっかしてお前がまた死ぬ思いするのは
Excuse me.
鈴本の唯一の才能篠原の練習を
Oh, excuse me. Maybe I shouldn't drink soda on stream. It's just gonna make me burp. You've gone through so much already and have come really close to dying. And I don't think any of them, not Suzumoto, Mitsui, Shinohara, or Morishige would want that.
そうじゃないかもしれない。
But that might not be true.
いい加減にしろ篠崎。サトシや中島がどんだけお前のこと心配してると思ってんだ。
Damn it, Shinozaki, just stop. Do you know how much Satoshi and Nakashima have been worrying about you?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
お願い岸沼君。もう少しだけ。もう少しだけでいいから。私の気の済むまでやらせて。お願い。
But Kishinuma, please, you have to understand. I just need a little more. I need you to humor me for just a little bit longer, okay? Please, just let me do this.
よいいか一人じゃダメだぞ。こっちは俺が預かっとくからな。
Fine, but listen, you're not doing it alone. I'm going to keep one of the stones. Okay. Aww. Look at that picture, isn't that cute? He'll be alright, you know. I turned my gaze up to meet Kishinuma's. My eyes must have looked like saucers, windows into a mind full of worries, ideas and fears spurred by this unexpected turn of events.
なんかあったらすぐ連絡しろよ。前みたいに目つぶって突っ走って勝手に死にそうになってんじゃねえぞ。
If anything happens, don't hesitate to call me, okay? I'm here for you, and I don't want you blindly rushing into dangerous situations like you did yesterday. Yeah, it's a cute pic.
お前一人くらい守れる自信はあんだからよ。
I may not be able to offer much, but I'm confident I can at least protect you from harm. Kishinuma patted me on the head reassuringly as he said this, and I had no idea how to react. I felt warm and safe, but also a little annoyed, much like a younger sister being simultaneously comforted and scolded by her big brother. All I could say in response was, okay. I could feel my eyes still bulging from my head, open as far as my eyelids would allow. I imagined how I must have appeared to Kishinuma, and was momentarily embarrassed.
んじゃ、そろそろ帰るとするか。
Come on now, let's get you home. Okay. Oh, we're in control. Shit. Well, there's a student there. I don't need anything right now. Oh, can we talk to this girl here? He's late. Seriously, what is he thinking? That boy needs a boot to the head, I swear. Okay, so we came from the right, so it looks like we were going to the left. Are we going up the stairs? Or are we going through here? I don't know where we're supposed to go. Why isn't Kishinuma following me though? Or Yoshiki? Ready to head home? Not yet. Alright, just let me know when you're good to go. Okay. Oh, so that means we get to explore before we continue. Must have been emptied out recently, as it's completely clean inside and smells only of the plastic bag. Could have sworn I just saw something moving under the trash can. What? Oh, we can't go into that gap. Oh! What the fuck? Damn game. There's a human arm poking out through the hole in one of the garbage bags. Though on closer inspection, it's from a mannequin. You fucking asshole of a game. Oh, this game's a dick. I swear. Is it gonna say the same thing for the other one? Okay. Oh, this game's an asshole. Oh, man, that was loud too. Is the owner of this house happy? Obviously, they're experiencing the daily joys and hardships of life like everyone else. But do they really understand what it all means? What? Oh, right. My goodness. Damn this game and its jump scares. Alright. Oh, looks like we're across the street. What's over here? I remember running up these stairs with Mayu Suzumoto. At the time, it never dawned on me that the legitimacy of those memories could ever be called into question. Why would it? When you graduate, transfer, or get married, you're always still able to see one another as long as you're both alive. But in this reality, it's as if Suzumoto never even existed. On an unrelated and sadder note, we lost our Shih Tzu? I wasn't hit hard with it, but my sisters got hit hard. Shih Tzu as in dog? You lost your dog? I'm sorry to hear that. Shih Tzu? Okay, so you're talking about your dog, right? I'm sorry that your dog passed away. Where are all the people? The streets seem unusually quiet. Is it just because of the late hour? So isn't Yoshiki gonna say anything about us being across the street now? Is he just gonna let us just explore this area? But yeah, I am sorry that your dog passed away. Is Game Master here? Yes, he is. Welcome, Homer. But may your dog rest in peace, Game Master. I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, let's just head back then. Come on then, let's go.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Oh my god, stop fucking lying. Not gonna lie though, I would be sad if my cat passed away. And if you don't know, Game Master, I do have a cat, and I would be pretty sad to see my cat gone. Yeah, Game Master just told me that his dog passed away. I'm home. Welcome back.
今日の変死速報です。死亡した岡部さんは背骨が折れた状態で都内のこの場所で発見され、
News of yet another bizarre death has just come in. This time, a Mr. Okabe, who was discovered within the city at this location, having suffered a broken spine. A Tokyo map was displayed on the television screen marked with 2 red dots. The marquee at the bottom provided the headline, "Sudden violent deaths remain unexplained." Dinner will still be a while yet. Maybe you should take your bath first, Ayumi. Okay. Oh, so Ayumi took off her socks. Without thinking, I left the socks I just removed from my feet on the living room floor and began walking toward the bathroom. Hey, socks. This was a bad habit of mine, so ingrained within me that it almost become ritual. Mom did well to have caught it so quickly. I grabbed my socks and left the room. Can I really bring them all back? If I use the Book of Shadows inside Heavenly Host this time, it just might work. I set my bag down in my room quickly and automatically grabbed my sweatpants and spats and made a beeline for the bathroom. Are we gonna... Ooh, we gonna get some fan service. Oh boy. When I got there, I threw my socks into the hamper with purpose and then began peeling off my school uniform. As I observed myself in the mirror, I began to murmur. I wasn't as hard with the news, but it still hurt. Yeah. I mean, having a pet, you know, for a while and, you know, being a part of your family, it does hurt. It does hurt. Because as of right now, I've had my cat for like a long time. I believe I got her back in 2011, so it's been 8 years since we've you know, quote unquote adopted her. But yeah, I would be sad if my cat would, you know, pass away. Must suck, but I'm sure she had a good life. Yeah, I'm sure your dog had a great life living with you guys and having all the fun it had with you and your family. Blowback. If I'm not careful, the same thing could happen again. Those burn marks on my neck and arms were eternal reminders of what I've been through at the Shinozaki estate. I could clearly remember the agony I went through as they formed. I remember watching them sear into my flesh out of thin air, blood spurting from them as if I'd been knifed. I only survived because Hinoue sacrificed herself in my place. I have to do it. I tried to force self-confidence into my expression. When it wouldn't come, I slapped my cheeks hard. It was in me somewhere. It just needed to be yanked out into the open. You have to do your best, damn it. Ooh, more fan service. I lowered my head into the water ever so slightly, blowing bubbles in the water with my mouth. The pros and cons of returning to Heavenly Host were racing through my head.
定した運命に挑む力、死ぬ先の夏へ、私がやらなきゃいけない。みんなを生き返らせてみせるわ。
This is the power to change fate itself, to rewrite it, and I'm a Shinozaki, so this is something only I can do. I have to show everyone that I can bring them back.
ファイアシャドウズのアイ
Oh my.
すぐにでも。
If only I knew where to find the Book of Shadows. I need to get my hands on it again. See, I don't understand why they have a window in their like in Japanese homes that they have windows in their bathrooms, because I feel like it could just give anyone a free peek at, you know, at some stuff. I don't understand it. I get it if you're like, you know, if you're gonna take a hot bath or shower, that, you know, it's just gonna it'll fog up the window, but still, like, having why why would you have windows in the bathroom? That's just, you know, no privacy at all. Oh my god, this guy's here again. Here they have small windows. Most homes don't have bathroom windows. Yeah. You're seriously going to look for the Book of Shadows? Your lack of sense never ceased to amaze me. This was just about the last thing I expected. I couldn't help but scream. It was the same boy who found his way into my room last time, wearing the exact same clothes. He spoke to me without once turning his head to look in my direction. She came. I mean, not she. He came for the poo-tang. So, you know about the Nirvana now. You finally pieced it all together and realized what you have to do. He smiled, still facing away from me. It was a confident yet sinister grin. What? Why and how? Hiding one's presence is about as basic a spell as they come. There's no need for the blown gasket. As for why I'm here, is to remind you of who you are and what you have to do. Your bloodline carries with it a certain responsibility, after all. You? Pervert, stalker, molester, I'm calling the cops. My face had to have been as red as fire by this point. Damn. Shut the fuck up, Titless. Who you calling a pervert when you got the body of a grade schooler? Ain't nobody gonna want to see a washboard like that. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Oop, she's shaking. What? My head felt like it was... My head felt like it now housed all the blood from my entire body. I imagined myself white as a sheet below the neck and flashing red above it. On the verge of a megaton explosion.
ブック・オブ・シャドウズは涅槃の中に戻っててめえが篠崎家で失敗したあの時にな。
Just listen up. The Book of Shadows is back in the Nirvana. It happened when you messed up at the Shinozaki estate.
ほら
Here. He handed me the autograph from Aiko.
いつの間にこれが何だっていうのよ。
When did you... What are you trying to pull?
よく見ろ不思議な女。ここだここ。
Just look at it, you blind bitch. Here. Right the fuck here. I grabbed the photograph from his hands as aggressively as I could muster, then backed away slightly, putting as much distance between me and him as humanly possible. Oh, if I remember correctly, I think the girl in that photograph, she was holding a hatchet in one hand, and I believe she was holding something else in her other hand. That could be the book. Yeah. So in her left hand, she is carrying something, and it does look like a book. It was definitely the same picture of the little girl holding the hatchet that Aiko had shown us earlier, but I now noticed that she was holding something in her other hand too. It was a hardbound book, around the size of a typical dictionary, and though I could barely make it out, there was a certain aura to it that looked an awful lot like a face. Excuse me. God, it is.
力を使いたいならもう一度ね。天神小学校と言った方がいいか。すぐにあそこへ飛んでその本を手に入れろ。そうするよ。
If you want to use its power, you gotta go back to the Nirvana. Or should I say, back to Heavenly Host. Jump over there and get the book. And then, maybe, just maybe,
お前の願いも叶うだろう。
you can make your wish come true. He stuck out his hand and pointed directly at my face, then slowly lowered it down toward my abdomen. He was now inexplicably pointing at my lower body, but as soon as I started to get self-conscious, he flipped his hand over and opened it, exposing his palm. There was another piece of 10-yen gum cupped there, the same kind as before. I'm not sure why I took it, but I did, without even thinking. Why does he give gum every time he sees her? As soon as the exchange was made, he immediately turned toward the bathroom window, apparently preparing to make his escape.
あなた何者なの？どうして私に？
Who are you? And why me? My question seemed to stop him in his tracks. Aren't you going to explain all this? I wasn't about to drop my guard, especially given the obvious advantage this boy had over me. But he didn't seem like he'd come to attack me or anything. Rather, it was almost like he was trying to lead me somewhere, to show me the way. Do you know the way? I can't answer that just yet. He turned his head toward me just enough that I could catch a brief glimpse of the eyes beyond his hood. They were ice blue in color, but gentle and sincere. He smiled once more as he leaped out the bathroom window. I was kind of dumbfounded. I had no idea how to process what had just happened.
どうしたの、あゆみ？大丈夫？
What's wrong, Ayumi? Are you okay? Mom barged into the bathroom, brandishing a broom. It was probably the first thing she could find with which to fend off potential intruders. Too bad she hadn't been just a moment quicker. All I could do was squat on the cold bathroom floor and stare at her with hollow eyes. There was no way to adequately explain any of this to her. Ooh, look at this store. Fancy. It was late at night, and I still hadn't bothered changing out of my school uniform. I needed food though, so I decided to hit up the convenience store on my way back home. I picked up a bottle of olives, a pack of tofu, some mineral water, and other various things to keep me going for a while. A bottle of olives, a pack of tofu, and some mineral water. That'll keep you going?
なんだこりゃ。
The hell's this? I could hardly believe it. There was actually an occult section at the damn mini-mart with all kinds of stupid stuff like spirit talisman magnets and anti-demon wards. I grabbed one off the shelf at random and looked at the company logo on the back side, PL Promotions Co. Inc. For these last 2 months, since we gotten back from Heavenly Host, it seemed like there was a real spiritual boom going on all over the world. Whenever there'd be a strange death or something, the public would be all over it, downright excited about the possibility that it might be supernatural in nature. It was all over TV shows and magazines too, with independent researchers checking out spiritual hotspots and giving fancy new age advice to people just to boost ratings or sales. And now this. Exorcism merchandise, next to prepackaged cupcakes and ready-made dinners.
コンビニでお札が買える時代かよ。
Get your talismans at the corner store now, huh?
ちょっと前までなら、こんなもの見ても気持ち悪いって笑えたんだろうけど、今じゃそんな風に笑えなくなっちまったな。
Not too long ago, I'd have made fun of all this crap. Guess it's not such a laughing matter anymore, though.
こんなの本物相手に聞くのかよ。なんて思うようになるとは。
Never thought I'd see the day when I pick up one of these things and wonder if it actually works. The item I was examining happened to be one of the spirit talisman magnets, seemingly the last one in stock. An old lady suddenly reached around me from behind and yanked it right out of my hands.
どう？
What? The fuck? She glowered. Glowered? She glowered at me for a moment before taking her prize over to the register. And I just stood there, staring blankly at her as she walked away. Rude? The fuck? The hell? Thank you very much. Oh, why is there flowers here? It's a withered bouquet of flowers. Oh yeah, I heard there was a serial killer who recently done in a middle school girl around here. These were probably left in memory of her or something. It's pretty messed up. Okay, so, where are we going? No, I missed stuff again. Had to do something, forgot to tell you. Thank goodness for chat box. It's all good. Do what you have to. You didn't really miss much. Nope. The hell?
篠崎、何してんだこんな時間に。家に帰ったんじゃねえのかよ。
Shinozaki, what are you doing here this late? I thought you went home.
ごめんね、こんな遅くに。アルバイト？
I did. Sorry to accost you like this. You just get off work?
ああ、今日は遅番だったからな。で、まさかずっと待ってたのか？なんか悪かったな。
Yeah, I had the late shift today. Wait, don't tell me you've been waiting here for me this whole time, have you? Man, I'm really sorry.
平気？
No, it's fine. It was actually a really chilly night. I could see Shinozaki's breath dissipating around her chin in short, frequent bursts.
平気じゃねえだろ。震えてんじゃねえか。 嫌じゃなければ寄ってけよ。シャくらい出してやる。
It's not fine at all. You're shivering. You can come in if you want. I'll get you some hot tea or something. Thanks. Ooh. Having a girl over. Ooh. Oh, look at this guy's room though. It's pretty simple and stuff. And it looks like that thing that's under the TV looks like an Xbox 360. Like the first model of the Xbox 360 at least. That's funny. Cause I would assume, you know, Japan should have only PlayStation stuff. Cause you know Sony's a Japanese company. Anyways. My room was on the second floor of the apartment building. I hadn't been expecting guests, but I had just tidied up for my own sake a little while back, so it was fairly presentable. Shinozaki immediately sat down on my bed and began sipping the tea I made for her. She was holding it in both hands, probably less for politeness and more just to warm up. This is really good. Why is she crying?
だろ、妹がいつも送ってくんだよ。いい茶話。
Isn't it? It's from my sister. She sends it to me all the time, says it's made from really good leaves. The sound of a large truck driving by seemed to catch her off guard. She was clearly a bit jittery, unsurprising, all things considered. They do construction at this hour? I was trying to do something bad on my phone. Now the Internet Explorer doesn't work. Something bad? What were you doing? Don't tell me you were looking at some naughty stuff, Homer. Naughty Homer. Homer, why being so lewd on your phone? Stupid DBZ movie got you in trouble. What? And when it gets close to the end of the year, they do all kinds of pointless work out there. It's like this every night. I've been sleeping like crap because of it. That sounds really annoying. Time passed us by at a snail's pace. Shinozaki continued to sip her tea, never once removing either hand from the warm cup. She definitely had something on her mind. Something had happened. It was written all over her face. Are you fighting with your parents or something? Uh-uh. Oh, don't worry. They know I'm here. Everything works fine, but internet app just closes. Ooh. Maybe like try reinstalling it, I guess. They do? Yeah. Shinozaki was in my room. I dreamed about this before, but never thought it would actually happen. Ooh, yeah, Yoshiki has a girl in his room. Ooh. You're gonna try? Alright. Okay, but... Hmm? Well, I just kind of want to know, like, what you're doing here this late. Did something happen? You could say that. Seriously? You want to go back to Heavenly Host right now? I was half acting as admittedly this wasn't entirely unexpected. Shinozaki may be a lot of things, but unpredictable is not among them.
お願い
Please?
でこの石を取りに来たのか
So you came here to get this stone from me. I took out the ever after stone I'd stolen from Aiko.
いいか篠崎確かにこの石はさっき光ってたし何か力はあるかもしれねえだがよもう一度あそこに行ったところで何をどうできるんだ
Come on, Shinozaki, think about it. Yeah, the stones got all glowy, so they probably can send you over. But what do you actually hope to accomplish once you get there?
また出られなくなって下手したら今度こそ死んじまう
What if you get stuck again and can't get out? You'll die.
そうなりゃここでのお前の存在まで消えちまうかもしれねえんだぞ
And if you die over there, your existence will be erased over here. You'll be gone. I tried to be as strong and commanding as I could possibly muster. I needed her to realize what a bad idea this was.
私の存在なんていいそれよりみんなを救いたいの
I don't care if I'm erased. I just want to save our friends.
救う
Save them?
黒の本ブックオブシャドウズのありかが分かったの
The Grimoire. The Book of Shadows. I know where it is.
さっき言ってたあの本のことか
The book you were talking about earlier?
見て
Here. Yeah. Here. Look. She had the thoughtograph thing from Aiko with her. She was pointing to the little girl's left arm.
私たち実はもうさっき見えていたのよこの女の子の左手のところそれがブックオブシャドウズよ
Excuse me. It's been staring us in the face this whole time. Look, in her hand. That is the Book of Shadows. I didn't have to look very hard to see it, but
本か確かに持ってるなそれでこれがブックオブシャドウズだっていう確証はあんのかよ
okay. So she's carrying a book. Fine. But do you have any proof that it's the Book of Shadows?
ないけどでも多分間違いないと思う
No, but I don't think it could be anything else.
なんだお前
You don't think.
天神賞へはねこの本を取り戻しに行くのそしたらみんなの魂を涅槃から解き放てる鈴本さんたちを今度こそ生き返らせることができるわ
We just have to go to Heavenly Host and get it back. Then we can save everyone's souls from the Nirvana. We can finally resurrect Suzumoto and the others. How could I argue with that? There were so many assumptions being made, but she was so sure of herself, so certain that this would work. She wasn't about to listen to reason. Excuse me. Oh, what the fuck? Shinozaki shook her head furiously, like some sort of violent shudder. It almost seemed like she was trying to shake something loose from her mind.
つかそもそもこんな石で本当に展示所に行けるのかあの女丹羽愛子だっけかどう見てもうさんくさかったぜ
But can these rocks actually take us back to Heavenly Host? That girl, Aiko Nawa, was it? There was something just not quite right about her, don't you think?
それは試してみなきゃだけれどでももしまた天神賞に行けたらみんなの魂がそこにあるんだから今度こそ反抗の術が成功すると思うの
Well, we won't know that until we test them now, will we? But if they do work, the souls of all our friends are on the line, and I believe we have a real chance of saving them. Shinozaki. She still had deep scars all along her arms, legs, and neck. Anyone could tell at a glance that she just recovered from a serious accident. She sounded so self-assured, so self-confident, but it was hard to take any of that seriously. This was the first time in my life I found myself tearing up over someone, but not being embarrassed that I was crying. Honestly, it surprised me, even me, how deeply I cared about Shinozaki, and how much I just didn't want to lose her. My eyes were getting hot and glazed, and I felt utterly helpless.
こんなこと誰にも話せないけど、あなたは信じてくれる。しのなく
I can't talk about this with anyone else, but you trust me, Kishinuma, don't you? I was at a complete loss of for words. I found myself literally scratching my head, trying to come up with a good answer. This was Shinozaki, and she had come to me for moral support, for encouragement, for peace of mind. It was really the first time she'd ever truly relied on me, ever truly counted on me. I knew then what I had to do.
もうよ、あのクソ学校であんな目にあって帰ってきたんだ。今さら何があっても驚きゃしねえよ。お前が言うんならきっとそうなんだろ
Damn it. You know what we went through in that piece of shit school. There's no telling what might be waiting for us over there now. But if you're sure about this, we should do it.
理解はできないけどな。できないままに俺は決めたことがある。
Honestly, I have no idea what the hell you're thinking. But I promised you one thing, and I intend to deliver on that.
決めたこと。
What one thing?
何があってもお前を守るってよ。
That I protect you, no matter what. Shinozaki and I stared into each other's eyes for a moment, each of us trying to figure the other out.
心配すんな。大丈夫だ。
Don't worry, everything will be okay. I tried to force a smile. Shinozaki had basically curled up in a ball at this point. Her tiny body collapsed in on itself for support. But now, all of a sudden, she unfurled herself and glared at me. I couldn't tell if she was mad or happy or what. Her eyes were either like daggers or saucers. I couldn't really make out which. Maybe she'd come here expecting me to actively shoot down her ideas or something. Maybe she thought she'd be alone in this. Maybe she figured out what I was up to. Or maybe she'd been expecting me to say exactly what I'd said to her. And maybe it annoyed her? Either way, tears began to explode from her eyes, so quickly that red bags were forming under them almost instantly. She then turned her back to me, all with one seemingly unconscious spin of her body.
どうした篠崎。
Shinozaki? Are you okay?
私の頭ポンポンってしたでしょ。
During the day, you remember when you patted my head? She seemed like she was trying her hardest not to let herself cry, though it wasn't exactly working.
そんなことをしたか。
Huh? I did? Yeah. You don't remember? She paused, seemingly waiting for me to answer, but I had no idea what to say, and absolutely didn't want to say the wrong thing, so I just stood there like a dolt.
やっぱり覚えてないな。
That's funny. Never mind then. If you don't remember, that's fine. Finally, she turned back to face me, her tears mostly dry. Still a little self-conscious about crying, though. She kept her eyes closed, a telltale frown belying her confidence. There was obviously something between the lines for me to read here, but hell if I knew what it was.
ああ、お前の持ってる石の片割れ見せてくれよ。
Ah, here, let me see your stone. Huh? Oh, okay. Shinozaki removed the Ever After stone from her pocket and placed it squarely in my hand. I don't like where this is going. The music. I positioned it next to my stone and stared intently at the two. This was the turning point. What I did next could decide our fates. I couldn't mess this up. Outside my window, I could still hear the sound of construction vehicles driving by. It was now or never. The fuck? What the fuck did he just do? In a close to one solid motion as I could manage, opened my window and chucked the two stones out into the road. Hey! I timed it perfectly, and my aim couldn't have been better. Another truck was just about to pass by, and the stones were immediately in its path. The sound I heard next was a satisfying crunch. It was the sound of delicate glass-like rocks breaking into tiny pieces. Shinozaki had rushed over to the window and directly witnessed the fate of the Ever After stones. As soon as the truck drove over them, she collapsed to her knees. Excuse me.
何をしてでも
Ooh, get slapped. Like I said, I'll protect you no matter what I have to. Yeah. I couldn't even finish my sentence before Shinozaki's palm slammed my face with an incredible force. The loud smack of flesh on flesh echoed throughout the room. The side of my face was immediately in pain. I began rubbing it with my hand as I looked into Shinozaki's eyes. Her face was filled with tears and her nose was running. She was breathing so heavily, her shoulders were bobbing up and down. I never should have trusted you.
篠崎聞いて
Shinozaki, listen, I was wrong to believe you'd help me. Should have known better. She was absolutely hysterical with rage.
行かせるかよあんなところに
You think I could just stand by and let you go back there? Back there? It was my turn to fire back now. I was certain I'd done the right thing.
本があるったって具体的にどこだ一体何をするんだよ何のプランもなしに行ってまた死ぬ思いするだけだろ
How do you even know for sure the book is there? And how did you intend to get back from that girl once you got there? Going over there without a plan would be certain death. I hate you. You're an ass, a delinquent, worthless piece of shit. Leaving me with those hurtful words, Shinozaki then pushed past me and ran out of my room, crying like a child the whole way. I stood back up again, rubbing my cheek where I'd been slapped. Worthless piece of shit? Ow. Please, please. God, where are they? Oh. Found them.
無事だったんだ。トラックに踏まれたのに。
They're okay? But they were run over by a truck.
当然だろう。ただの石じゃねえんだ。
Why would that matter? Those aren't just any old stones.
あなたは
You. It's the boy in the hood, isn't it? Yep, I knew it.
よく手段を手に
Oh, he doesn't have his hood on this time.
論から手段、次に実践だ。進め。貪欲に貪るように邁進しろ。
The method is in your grasp now. Wrested from the opposition. Now it's time to indulge in what you've won, to push forward, and put that method to rest.
お前はもう飛べる。パンピーどもを超越する世の断りに手を突っ込むことのできる人間だ。
You can make the jump now. You're so much more than those filthy peasants. You can surpass them. You can interject your own will into the fabric of this world.
教えてよ。味方
Are you on my side then?
篠崎。
篠間くん。
比べて。こいつはクズだ。
I'm miles ahead of this trash.
なんだよお前。
Huh? Who the hell? It's that guy I passed in front of Shinozaki's place. Anyway, I'm gonna head to bed. I do have stuff in the morning, so good night, y'all. Alright, Game Master. You have a great night. You rest well. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. And I'll hopefully see you later. They're still intact? Damn it.
篠崎、渡すんだ。
Shinozaki, give them to me.
いや、
No.
ダメだ。行くんじゃねえ。何度死にそうになれば気が済むんだよ。
This has to stop. You can't go over there. How many times do you think you can cheat death before death wins? No.
渡せ。
Hand them over, damn it. No. Ooh. Ow. Bad dog.
歩み、味方かと聞いた。
You asked if I was on your side.
その通り。守る。
I am. I'm your guardian.
俺はお前の姉。日の絵の世話になった一番弟。ヤゴ浦教会のキリア・ビストロ。
I was Hinoe's, your sister's protege. I owe a lot to her. My name is Misuto Kiria of the Yogora Society. You were my sister's
いい子
good girl.
で。会場のワードは覚えているな。
You remember the chant to unlock their powers, don't you? I don't like this at all.
さて、それじゃあ実践といこうか。その石貸してみろ。
I don't like this at all. Let's get started. Let me see those stones. Oh god.
俺にしっかり捕まってろよ。あとほら、 お守りだ。なくすな。
Hold on tight to me. And here, a good luck charm. Don't lose it. The fuck is that? Obtain Misuto's charm, the Argus cube. Shinosaki, don't go. Don't.
もう心配しないで。
I'm sorry. You don't need to worry about me anymore.
お前は正しくパンピーの道を生きてろ。
You should live the life of a peasant. It's only fitting.
やめて。
Stop.
涅槃よ。死人を迎えよ。
Nirvana. I summon the dead. Oh. This can't be happening.
篠崎篠崎そうなんでだよそう
Damn it. Why? God damn it. Oh. Oh, we're back in the school, guys. Where am I?
この匂い。この空気。
The stench. This heaviness. Yup, this is Heavenly Host, alright. But in more 3D
人所だ。
graphics. Or in 3D graphics, I should say. It's Heavenly Host.
あれミストさんどこ？
Huh? Misto? Where are you?
幸せの石。
The Ever After Stones. Ooh, he has them. Or does she have them? They're gone.
どうしよう。あれはミストさんが。
What do I do now? Misto must still have them.
そんなあの石がないと。
But without them,
あの石がないと。帰れないわ。
without those stones, I can't get back. Ooh, I think what he did was he used it, right? So he can transport her in there, and then he used it again so he can get out. Oh, that's bullshit.
またこの学校に一人ぼっち。
I'm alone in this school. Again.
そんな。
God.
そんなことないよ。きっとどこかで合流できるわ。前だってそうだったもの。
No, I can't start panicking. He's here somewhere. I'll find him. This is just how it happened last time, too. Oh, what the fuck? Damn it! Fuck this game! And this freaking jump scares. Huh? Huh? Ooh. What does that say? No one is coming to save you. Die. Kill. Die, 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 die. You should just die, 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 die. Curse. Hate. Okay, that's all it says. Like a pomegranate. Head so full of juice. Welcome. No. Where is she going? Oh, I'm in control now. What the? Okay. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? Well, she ran this way, so am I supposed to just leave out of here? Oh, it wasn't this dark last time. Ah. There's a clock there. There wasn't a clock like that in here last time either. I guess things really are different now. I hope Misto hasn't gone too far. I don't even know his phone number. Wait, do phones not have flashlights on the back of their phones? You know, for flash, for the camera? She's like using the front screen. Or the screen of her phone. That's the light. Actually, I should leave a message for him. Sayumi, please call me 090 whatever, redacted. Good enough, I think. Now let's see if I can find him anywhere. Alright. So this was chapter 0, so we're gonna save in another slot for chapter 1. Alright, and this yeah, I think we should end here. So it can be another cliffhanger for you guys. So yeah, we're gonna stop here. Cliffhanger, but yeah, we just returned to Heavenly Host, guys. That is exciting. It's weird to see Heavenly Host in, you know, in 3D in 3D graphics, because it just makes it more terrifying. And not to mention all the jump scares that that happen in this game. It makes it even worse with 3D graphics. Like, everything just looks much more scarier now. But yeah, we are going to continue this tomorrow. We're going to continue chapter 1 tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying Blood Drive, Corpse Party Blood Drive so far. It's been one hell of a game so far, especially with the jump scares. But everything is starting to get really interesting because now we are back inside Heavenly Host, and it's just Ayumi now by herself. Because I'm pretty sure Misto or Misuto, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Like, I'm pretty sure he just, like, you know, sent her there and then used the stones again so he can get out. So that's what I'm thinking anyway. So, but yeah, we will continue this tomorrow. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. But yeah, everyone have a great night or day, depending on what time it is for you. Enjoy the new week, that's coming up. Hope everyone has a great week. And yeah, I'll see everyone tomorrow. See ya.